What's up friends, Chook here, and I have some super exciting news regarding Monster Hunter World. So Capcom have finally released an English version of the gameplay demo that they did at E3, and it actually plays out quite a bit differently than the E3 demo that I've done a commentary over and everyone else has probably seen that they did the live stream of some weeks ago. So before I go into the whole video, which I'm not going to talk over, I'll just play it and you guys can watch and see how amazing it is. I just wanted to note some of the things that I saw, some differences and things like that. Now, to Monster Hunter veterans, this will be apparent, but people new to the series may not know how this game works or anything. So I just wanted to note some things that I saw that were interesting, and it is new for the series as well. So I just going down the list that I've made here of observations. We got to see the heavy bowgun and its new Gatling gun special ammo type a lot better. So in the previous gameplay demo that they had, it was mainly focused on the greatsword, and then when the multiplayer segment came in, they broke the screen up into four separate screens, and it was very hard to see each of them in good detail. So they've gone in and shown us the heavy bowgun, which is awesome. We had a decent look at the armor and armor skills for both the Hunter and the Palico. So that's really interesting. I suggest you pause the video and take a look at when they do that to really take it in if you're a Monster Hunter veteran, because looks like they've changed some systems around with the armor types and how they work and everything. So that's interesting, but we don't know too much of that just yet. So you'll notice that it is fully voiced English, and you'll see that the guild girl will give you hints and everything while you're hunting. And I mean, this is a demo and it's kind of like a tutorial kind of mission, but it's cool that they've done that, because in previous Monster Hunter titles, there isn't any real voiceover or anything. So that's really cool. As you'll see, the map is huge and it's very vertical as well, but they still have the segments of the map, like the 1, 2, 3, all the rest of it for shout calling. So if you are playing with friends, you can go with monsters in, area 9 or something, but it all loads seamlessly. So you don't have to load from area of the map to the next area of the map. And you'll see also in the gameplay that the hunter actually goes through these like trees or vines or something, and he kind of like squeezes through them and pushes himself through very slowly. And that's seamless. That's just a shortcut to another area, but there's no loading or anything. And then the monster comes in from behind and smashes it, and creates a massive gap there now. So you won't have to go through those vines if you lead the monster into that. You'll also see that there is control tutorials on the top right of the screen. So I'm tipping that this is either just for the tutorial mission-y demo thing, or it's a toggle thing that you can turn it off or on. But it's really cool. You'll see that depending on what stance he's in, whether he's running, whether he's attacking, if he's in the air, all the rest of it, that those moves will actually change. So that's really cool. And really good, because this game is the Monster Hunter games are really hard to get into and really hard to understand unless you know someone that knows how to play them and can teach you, which I intend to do for everyone that's interested. I will be putting out guides and everything, but it's good that they've got that gameplay controls in there, and you can just see it while you're playing. It's a lot easier to get into, I would think. Now, yeah, like I said, the Palico is in there, but he mainly seemed to gather. And when the hunter was gathering, you saw what he was gathering. It came up on the right of the screen, and then there was gathering stuff that come up on the left of the screen. I think that might be the Palico gathering stuff is on the left, and the hunter gathering is on the right, but we'll see. We also saw a bit more to do with the scout flies and how they leveled up, and you will see the bottom left hand of the screen when the scout flies level up and you get more things from the monster, that they'll level up and it'll track them more, and they'll become more dense, more like the density of the flies will become bigger and stuff like that. You can also use the slinger to shoot nuts and berries and stuff to distract smaller monsters with sound, so that you can be a bit more stealthy, and you'll see that, as well as you can also shoot the environment to make things fall. So you'll also see that, where he'll shoot some berries and stuff off the tree, and you can pick them up, scatter nuts, all that sort of stuff. Now you can also lure, similar to what I was talking about before, between moving seamless from one area to the other, you can also lure the monsters to break parts of the environments to open up new areas to fight in. And he does this, and inside of that area that he opens up, there are flash flies, and he attacks the flash flies, and then that puts off like a stun, and it will stun the monster. So that's really cool that you can actually get the monster to break parts of the environment, giving you more room to play with, and also more environmental hazards, I guess, that you can use against the monster as well. As well as the flash flies, there was also a vigor wasp that the hunter used or attacked and gave himself a heal. So it looks like there's going to be quite a few bugs and things like that around the world that you can use to your advantage. It also showed the grappling hook a bit more and how you can use that to get around. You can use it to mount the monster, you get above it, drop down on top of it, all the rest. And also when you're mounting a monster, if you fall off, you can use the grappling hook to get back. And then the last thing that I wanted to note was that all the mantles that we used. So they was the Challenger Mantle, the Ghillie Mantle, and the Rocksteady Mantle. So the Challenger Mantle is used to taunt the monster and make it chase you. So again, if you wanted to use the monster to break a part of the environment or something, you could use that. Or if you wanted to lure it somewhere. So this gameplay was very different to the first one. So in the first one that we all saw, they were fighting the Anjanath, and then the Anjanath came across the Great Jagras, and then they fought, and the Anjanath killed the Great Jagras, or well, I think that's what happened, or it may have just run away, I'm not too sure. And then they went up to the top of the tree, and the Rathalos was there, and then those two fought, and then the hunters fought the Rathalos. This gameplay is completely different. So the Great Jagras did show up, but the Anjanath didn't want a part of it and just ran away. But the hunter used the Challenger Mantle to lure the Anjanath back to the Great Jagras, and then they fought. I gave him some time to do some things. The Ghillie Mantle is used for stealth, so it's like you put some like a sniper, like, you know, one of those leafy coats over you to go into stealth. However, that didn't work in the gameplay footage. You'll see that. And then the Rocksteady Mantle you can put on to stop flinching, and you can shrug off attacks. So when he was in the Great Bowgun, the heavy bowgun, I should say, he used the Rocksteady Mantle so that he could just lay down some heavy fire without flinching and getting, you know, knocked out of it with some little attacks. So yeah, there you go. That's just some of my thoughts. I know this rambled on a little bit, and this video is going to be a bit long with the gameplay afterwards, but I just wanted to make those notes to anyone that is new to the series. And like I said, even if you're not new to the series, there's some things in there that are different to the Monster Hunter we've all known and loved all these years. So let me know what you think. I'm super excited about this game. And as I said, when it comes out, I will be doing guides and full gameplays and everything like that. So I hope you're as excited for this as I am. But for the moment, enjoy the gameplay. Let me know what you think. And I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, and welcome to an early look at Monster Hunter World, coming to PlayStation 4 early 2018 with PC to follow. Today we have a special look at gameplay for you, so let's jump right in.
A monster that's been giving the Research Commission a lot of headaches has shown up again. We don't know exactly what the monster looks like, only that it sent dozens of hunters back in bad shape. So let's get right to it. Open up your map. This here is our current location. What we do know is that it marks its territory with a sticky mucus to keep trespassers out. I want you to head to this area and look for that mucus-like substance. Got it? Alrighty, partner. It's monster hunting time. Oh, one more thing. You're being timed. Good luck.
In Monster Hunter World, you take on the role of a hunter in a lively ecosystem. A key part of hunting monsters is tracking down your prey, and to assist with that, every hunter is equipped with scoutfly that track monsters' scent from clues such as these footprints.
The scout flies are responding to the monster's trail. Go get a closer look. Great! The scout flies have locked onto the scent of the monster. Be on the lookout for more tracks or traces. That's not our target. We gotta stay focused on what's important.
This here is the Great Jagras, a monster that can swallow its prey whole, almost doubling its size. It is not our main target, however, but it's conveniently heading in the same direction that our scout flies have been leading us, so let's follow it and see what it does.
This should work as slinger ammo. You can use it to hit things that are far away.
Ah, turns out it went to regurgitate some of that meal to feed its young. Monster Hunter World introduces monsters that can see and smell and hear you, so engaging in stealth is a sure way of getting the upper hand.
If you're clever, you can use the slinger to distract monsters.
These small Jagras are always on high alert, so a hunter is using sound to distract them so we can move on to continue tracking our main target.
The scout flies have picked up the monster's trail. Follow the green light they leave behind.
You can also track additional monsters, materials, and environmental utilities. We can see now the scoutfly formation is way more dense, indicating we have a pretty good grasp of the monster's trail.
If you follow the scout flies to your target, you'll locate it in no time. There! That's the quest target. Now you've just got to take it down. You're less likely to lose sight of a monster if you use the focus camera.
The target today is a new monster for the series, called the Anjanath. We see that it is actually asleep right now, and a hunter could wake it and engage in combat here, but the cave is a tricky tight spot, so let's try and lure it into an open area. To accomplish this, the hunter is using a new tool called the Slinger. He's using the slinger to shoot red pits, which create noise and attract the monster's attention.
Don't forget, you can guard too. The scout flies will hide once the fight breaks out. Don't forget that. Hey, these shrubs look like the perfect place to hide. You can use jump attacks to mount monsters.
Monster Hunter World introduces new environmental hazards, allowing you to use the landscape to trap and mount your prey.
Okay, it's down. Now's your chance to get in there and tear it up. The Great Sword is a powerful close-range weapon. Though attacks leave you wide open, the payoff is well worth it.
Red Pit and Scatternut are just some of the ammo types available for your slinger, and each ammo type comes with a unique set of properties.
You can use jump attacks to mount monsters. The monster is on the move. Use the scout flies as a guide as you go after it.
You can also lure the monster to destroy parts of the environment that open up new paths. And in this case, we now see some flash flies that, when struck, will create a dizzying flash of light to stun the monster.
Oh boy, that monster's really mad now. Be ready for some vicious attacks.
Now that the monster is enraged, it becomes more aggressive and will chase the hunter incessantly. You can actually use this to your advantage and lure it to another area of the map with more environmental traps. In this part of the map, we can see a rock formation hanging on by some vines. Using the slinger's versatility allows the hunter to paralyze the Anjanath and then cause the rocks to fall on a monster, causing massive damage. Every hunter is also equipped with a grappling hook, which can be used to quickly gain higher ground.
You mounted the monster. Now's your chance to topple it.
And if you're mounting a monster and it knocks you off, you can use that grappling hook to get right back on the saddle. Body damage and scarring are your primary indicators of damage dealt on the monster. You can even sever off the tail of some species. Uh-oh, the Great Jagras has appeared once again, and it looks like the Anjanath is not a fan of the competition. Large monsters get very territorial at times. Depending on their temperament, they will either fight or flee. This time, the Anjanath chooses to avoid the encounter with the Great Jagras. Hunters can also don different types of mantles, each with their own inherent abilities. The Challenger mantle seen here is a great tool to attract the monster's attention and lure it to another strategic location.
Be careful.
As you can see, the living, breathing ecosystem in Monster Hunter World features its own hierarchy of predators and prey.
Look, the monster's almost done for. Chances are it'll retreat to its nest to recuperate.
Limping is one of the key tells of a monster approaching its last breath. As the Anjanath runs away to recover from the hunter's onslaught, the hunter can take this opportunity to return back to camp and formulate a new strategy.
You can change your weapons and armor here. Make sure you're always prepped and ready for what comes next.
For the final strike, our hunter has traded the great sword for a heavy bowgun. In Monster Hunter World, you craft weapons and armor from materials gathered from your fallen prey, serving a grisly reminder of past battles, whilst giving you attributes related to that monster. Here we can see the fearsome Anjanath armor. Since the hunter was already in combat with the Anjanath, finding it again is very easy thanks to the help from the Scoutfly, who have already locked to its scent.
heavy bowgun is a high-powered ranged weapon. It does a lot of damage, and lets you use more powerful ammo. Dodge their attacks. You don't want to take hits like that head-on.
While the heavy bowgun lets you attack from a safe distance, its defensive options are much more limited than the greatsword. Since hiding spots are scarce in this area, our hunter will have to use the ghillie mantle to conceal himself for a moment.
Okay, now's your chance. Hurry up before you...
Well, that didn't work so well. With the effect of the ghillie mantle now gone, our only option is to run and create some distance. But thankfully, this map's verticality gives us a quick way out.
Meaning you won't be able to move.
Utilizing the roaming giant Vigor Wasp, the hunter is able to get the health recovery that he needs.
chance to deal some serious damage.
The rock-steady mantle allows our hunter to keep a steady hand whilst firing at the monster. With the ability to now shrug off ferocious attacks, it's time for the hunter to unleash some payback with a powerful wyvern ammo. And there it is! Quest complete and a job well done.
All right, you completed the quest. Congrats!
Now we can harvest precious materials from the monsters and use those to gear up for our next challenge.